What's going on, everybody? I go by Big Groomy and welcome back to yet another news video. Now, I don't want to waste your time, so if you don't want to hear some stuff about channel and my upload schedule, just skip to the time on the screen now. You won't hurt my feelings. So yesterday, some of you may know that I posted my first video on this channel and it got way more of a positive response as I was expecting. And the next day, after reading your guys' positive comments about this, along with there being a lack of news channels in the competitive Overwatch scene right now, so for the time being, I've decided that this channel is going to be specifically dedicated to competitive Overwatch news. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be posting a video. There's a couple reasons I'm doing this. The first reason I'm doing this is that I want the video to be up while you're leaving work. So if you are on the West Coast, for example, and you get out at 5, the video will be up and you can just go home and watch it. Another reason is usually big Overwatch events like the World Cup and the Overwatch League take place on weekends, so most of the news would be happening then, and I can get out to who wins and stuff like that when that happens. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll make sure to answer them. Alright guys, enough of that, let's get into our first bit of news where a Houston Outlaws jersey gets banned from a school for being too violent. So basically in this article, they say how this 10-year-old kid got a Houston Outlaws jersey for his birthday, but then he went to school wearing it. Also, since this isn't the first time something like this has happened with the kid, he was forced to turn the shirt inside out. Along with that, the school made him send a letter home basically saying how he turned the shirt inside out because there's 2 guns on the front. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with this decision, but for the past couple years, North American schools, I think, have been too strict for casual things, for example, bringing a Nerf gun to school, stuff like that. That's not the end of the story though. Flame, the general manager of the Houston Outlaws, tweeted out some of his thoughts on this. To be honest, the second we went over the logo, the first thing I said was, I wonder if they'll be able to put this logo on an elementary school's backpack. It's happened before to another young student for a t-shirt. I think we sent him the baseball jersey to wear. Alright guys, along with that, later on he tweeted out this. I do think it'd be cool to do like a secondary Outlaws logo that makes the gun less obvious, solely for the purpose of merchandising for the younger audience. I'm actually surprised this turn your shirt inside out thing has only happened a handful of times. Not sure. Flame also responded saying, "For the record, we're not outlaws in China. I believe that was denied and our Chinese name actually translates to sharpshooters and it was copyrighted as such. Guns and the criminal nature of the word outlaws carry some more weight than I want it to or not." Alright guys, that's about it for that segment with Houston Outlaws jersey being banned from the school. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it, so leave it in the comment section below. Personally, I think a secondary logo for Houston would be a good thing in the long run, especially when it comes to a younger audience. Alright guys, now we got some news coming in from the Tier 2 scene. As you may know, for the past couple days, the Contenders Gauntlet has been happening, and I think Tier 2 Overwatch is underappreciated, so I thought I'd give some news on that. And disclaimer, I'm not as in touch with the competitive Tier 2 scene as I am with Tier 1, so I'm not going to go into much detail as I normally would with Tier 1. In this, I'll be highlighting Atlanta Academy and Runaway. Jumping to the semifinals, Atlanta Academy went up against Element Mystic. In the end, it was a really close series going back and forth, each team winning, vice versa. But Element Mystic was able to take it 3-2. So what you gotta know right now is that Atlanta Academy is in the losers bracket, meaning that if they lose one game, they're out of the entire tournament. Meanwhile, in the semifinals, Runaway is able to take down Gen G and go to the winners finals against Element Mystic. Unfortunately for Runaway fans though, Element Mystic defeat Runaway 4-2. Eventually it led to Runaway and Atlanta Academy in the losers finals. Personally, I thought this game was going to be pretty close since both teams looked pretty good other than their loss against Element Mystic, but it wasn't. Atlanta Academy 4-0 stomped Runaway, going as far as full holding them on Dorado where this happened.
He's going to fall too! Is this just going to be it? Or ATL just going to look the payload in right now? Chiroku's going to get staggered out here. You can just continue freezing him and then Runaway have to take a 5v6 of his final fight. Look at where the cart is!
Just a little spicy moment coming in from Sugar Free from the Atlanta Academy. Just wanted to put that in because I liked it. Now shortly after that, the game ended, meaning that Runaway was eliminated from the tournament. Because of this, we saw some emotion coming out from a Runaway player, Hisu. Here's the clip to that.
Made it in what I think is possibly the greatest grand final we could have. This clash between the Titan, the king of Western Overwatch, and the king of Korea right now, having dethroned Runaway, Element Mystic.
They can't have history repeat itself again, of course. They got knocked out by EM, and EM's dominant run as well.
There is a slight repeat of history though. Heartbreak for Runaway. Seemed like with this org it's so often the case
My thoughts on this are major respect to Runaway. You guys have a hell of a run, and GG just go next. And I think it's a good thing to see more emotion in the scene, as these players are under so much stress, it's healthy to cry. And the last thing we want to see is another player retiring early because their emotional health got to them. So now we're in the grand finals, the Contenders Gauntlet, where Atlanta Academy is facing Element Mystic. Now there's two clips I want to highlight in this series. The first one coming from the BM god himself, Dogman. Now if you don't know, Dogman was picked up by the Atlanta Reign in the second season of the Overwatch League. And throughout the season, Dogman quickly gathered a reputation of not being afraid to talk trash and hype up the crowd. The most famous scenario of this being when he called Cruz a feeder when he faced Paris in Stage 1. So back to the grand finals, where Atlanta Academy was down 0-2 to Element Mystic. So if you don't know what he said here, he actually said Element Mystic sucks, let's go Atlanta. Honestly, I just think this is Dogman doing Dogman things, so I don't really think much about this. And in the end, it didn't even wind up working because Element Mystic defeated Atlanta 4-1. And one more clip I just wanted to add in here was Sparkle getting an insane 6K barrage onto Atlanta Academy.
Close quarters, Sparkle will probably match that as soon as he drops this first barrage. He's got his...
They have to know.
Yeah, his position...
They have to know! There's a barrier there, Sparkle! Oh, they knew.
They knew.
Sparkle didn't know.
Res, though.
Yeah, they do actually get the res, which you wouldn't expect given the positioning there, but Atlanta Academy have pushed over to this side.
The card is rolled.
All jokes aside, though, about Sparkle, he has been looking really good, and I'm not surprised if he's going to be picked up by an Overwatch League team next season. So after the series was done, Atlanta Academy's coach, Hawk, tweeted this: GG's only. We went into this tournament not confident on anything and learned along the way. Element Mystic definitely deserved to win this. This is their meta practically. Really wanted to win because it's probably the last time we were all going to be playing with each other. Now what Hawk is probably suggesting here is that most of the Atlanta Academy players are going to be picked up by Overwatch League teams, which is honestly not a surprise as these players have been playing so good lately, being so dominant in the NA contender scene. And many of the actual players on Atlanta Academy like Gator, Kodak, Funny Astro have already been on the Overwatch League stage. So I can pretty confidently state here that at least half of the Atlanta Academy roster will be in some way or another on the Overwatch League Season 3 stage. It's also not that much of a stretch to say that many players from Element Mystic and Runaway could also have multiple players entering the league next season. Alright guys, next we have some news about Huck, the Boston Uprising coach, tweeting out some questionable things to Nero, another Overwatch League player. It starts with Nero commenting on the Runaway situation with the player crying. Basically what Nero was saying in his first tweet is that it's not right to make fun of players crying, and that many times off camera that he's seen players cry before. And this here is when Huck responds, I think it's great. Nero understandably responds because he's confused, saying people crying or people getting made fun of for crying. And this is where out of the blue, for no reason, I'm really confused about this, Huck says, were you bullied? Tell me who hurt you. Guys, I myself am a Boston Uprising fan, and I am still baffled by the fact that Huck is a coach on this team. And this is strictly unacceptable for someone in the Overwatch League to be saying on Twitter. It's just bad PR, and he should be fired for this, honestly. And we're not even done yet. The drama just keeps going on with this. I don't know what this guy's doing. Like, he had to be drunk or something, actually. So after Huck said that, Nero said, what are you on about? Huck responds with question marks. And then Huck says, honestly, no idea where this disrespect is coming from. Guys, where are these tweets coming from? Huck is giving me some Toronto esports vibes right here. If you don't remember Toronto esports, basically it was the academy team for the Boston Uprising. But obviously we had the Toronto Defiant come into the Overwatch League, so Blizzard wanted them to change their name. And it turned out the CEO of Toronto esports was a little bit batshit crazy, so yeah, so basically he had a mental breakdown on Twitter and led to him disbanding the whole team. Now I'm not saying Huck is gonna disband the Boston Uprising because that's literally not possible, it's not owned by him. What I'm trying to say is I would be really surprised to see him on Boston Uprising for Season 3. Alright guys, now we got some little quick bits of news. First of them coming from the Atlanta Reign that posted this on Twitter.
Lights out.
So if you don't get what they're trying to say, they're basically saying they're going to DreamHack. So if you're a fan of Atlanta and you're near the area, you might want to keep your eyes out for that. Our next little small piece of news comes from Bren. What the man himself is saying is the hot tub juice is incredible so far. Gotta slowly release it to avoid overloading the people. Some serious rumors are circulating. I'm talking big tings. Now, he said that the hot tub juice has been brewing. That means it's been marinating for a long time. So I think the juice is going to be really nice. We just have to wait and see, though. My theory is that we're going to see Bren maybe 1v1 Huck. Alright boys, for our last piece of news, we have Mr. X, the man himself, getting married. Congratulations to him, I hope he has a wonderful wedding. And welcome Mr. X to the married man meta, even though I'm not married. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting when the schedule does this thing, so yeah, see you guys.